Hello everyone guys, we're testing RESTO Shaman P Wave, Primordial Wave, Primal Tide Core, and Ancestral Awakening playstyle. We're basically not casting Chain Heal because we don't have Tidebringer, we don't have any of these talents. This is actually something that's becoming more and more popular in higher keys, and it actually makes sense. But I actually think this is a... Let's Bloodlust this. I actually think this is a bit more difficult playstyle to play because Primordial Wave, majority of your healing is going to be coming from things like Primordial Wave, making sure your Riptides are applied to a lot of people because of your tier set and things like that. And making sure, it's all about Cloudburst actually. From my initial testing, again, most people played Resto Shaman because Chain Heal build was a lot more viable, was a lot more interesting. But the problems with Chain Heal build, you can have mana issues. And sometimes, again, there has been buffs to the tier set bonus, there's been buffs to certain talents, and I've seen this build becoming more and more popular. But it's all about... I think it's a bit more difficult to play than pressing Chain Heal once in a while and things like that, because you have to focus on how you use your Primordial Wave. You have to focus on how you activate your Cloudburst Totem. If you're someone who likes Cloudburst Totem, or if you're someone who doesn't like Cloudburst Totem, I probably wouldn't play this build. I probably wouldn't really focus on this because there's so much emphasis on Cloudburst. Man, Sanguine, delete the suffix. Like, honestly, delete the suffix. I didn't activate my Stormkeeper properly, but whatever.
CC.
Whatever, guys. Whatever. I just want to test out how much healing you can do with this. I've done a couple of keys with this. You're basically just casting, like, again, you're casting Primordial Wave healing waves and you're casting Healing Surge when you don't have anything happening. The problem with this is that if you don't play this properly and you don't have your Primordial Wave at a given point, or if you don't have Cloudburst running, you can run into these issues for sure, where like, what do I do? All you have is kind of like Healing Surge because your Chain Heal is a lot less impactful. But in those cases, you can fall back on things like Spirit Link or Ascendance. But Spirit Link, in order to use Spirit Link, like in really high AoE situations, you need to have healing to back it up. You can't just press Spirit Heal and Spirit Link and just hope that everything's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? But look at this. So you have Cloudburst running. I have Riptides on pretty much everyone here. I apply Primordial Wave. I use my Healing Wave.
CC.
And that's like, look at my Cloudburst, man. Oh, no.
CC.
Good. Okay, I didn't apply. I did not interrupt or CC that guy. That's my bad, guys. Let's use Ascendance here. Let's have our Cloudburst running again. One of the reasons actually I wanted to try this out is because this is something that... This is one of those builds that seems to be heading, or you seem to be heading towards in the next patch, because there is a lot of changes in terms of the tier set. The tier set doesn't really work with your Chain Heal in terms of only the initial target. There's nerfs to again, there's a lot of nerfs to something like Resurgence, which means that casting... Again, I have my Primordial Wave available here, but I only want to cast this when I have my Cloudburst, so I want that additional healing to go in there. Oh, I need to interrupt a bit more here. I shouldn't have done that. Again, Sanguine is something that is just insane, man. I genuinely think I need to interrupt. I'm talking too much here. I have to say that going to Resto Shaman from like something like... Oh, I need to heal this guy. Going to Resto Shaman from something like Resto Druid, where picking up interrupt is so awkward. Resto Shaman interrupt feels so nice to have, man. Let's see, we can get it. I need to focus a little bit more. Sometimes talking and doing a dungeon is definitely... My boomer brain can't take it. But yeah, this build, like, I think one of the biggest advantages is that your mana consumption is... You don't have a lot of mana issues. The biggest problem is that you do doing a lot of hard casting and you do rely on... I'm gonna try and interrupt here. So I'm gonna no one should die here unless they're getting hard casted. So now I have Primordial Wave, I have Cloudburst, and look at my Cloudburst, 400k right now for doing very little. And then I'm gonna use my Healing Rain. That's also gonna proc my tier set bonus. I'm gonna Interrupt. And let's do some damage. You could be focusing so much more on damage as well, because if you have enough healing in your Cloudburst totem and you know it's going to proc at the right time, you can just go back and DPS.
Wins.
Okay, now I'm not really doing that. So, like, look at this. Look at this Primordial Wave. Ah, everyone got a bit of a heal on them. I kind of like it. I know it's not for everyone. I definitely know a lot of people who played Resto Shaman or who re-rolled to Resto Shaman. They're all about that chain heal, and chain heal build has been really fun in a lot of situations. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know if I did that was really Primordial Wave. So we're gonna do a big heal here. And we have 400k. Last time I got like a 1 million Cloudburst. Okay, I'm gonna use my totem to reset. I'm gonna go into Stormkeeper and Ancestral Guidance and try and imagine how much healing I could do with, like, again, Ancestral Guidance has been nerfed and a lot of people were unhappy about that. A lot of people were unhappy about Ancestral Guidance. This should be fine. I don't have to do anything. 400 or 500k Cloudburst. My mana is basically, again, you can see it's not really a thing. It is weird not having to cast Chain Heal. Because I spent... Okay, where is this going? I spent most of my time not casting. In this boss, we only have AoE damage. Oh my god. CC. In this boss, we only have that. I don't know why this... I don't know why this affix works here, man. Because it just feels really bad. We're just gonna use our... You can see here. We're just gonna... We have Riptides on everyone. And look at this. I have 500k Cloudburst. I don't have to do anything. My Cloudburst is gonna pop and just heal everyone up. Like, this kind of playstyle, when you have this burst every... You know, every half a minute or a minute type of deal, you can basically save everything. Of course, people are gonna... People might get hit by this and you need to... Okay, where's the CC? I see it, I see it, I see it. I can't cast it, I can't cast it. I was out of range. Oh, this is bad. This is bad, boys. Look at this. Again, in a higher tyrannical key, I would actually like to try it out to see how much I can do as well. But it's so hard to see the affixes in this boss, man. Maybe I'm just becoming blind or something. So a lot of your healing in terms of this playstyle, again, you're not even running.
3, 2,
okay.
1.
CC.
I'm doing this one. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I couldn't do that one. No! No, man! Don't die on me! I don't know if I got him. Just straight up 400k on Cloudburst. I think you got hit by that as well. Oh no, I would have rezzed you. But we can go. I didn't use any mana. You can use this. This is something that a lot of Resto Shamans use in like really high, like plus 30 keys, where they don't even go into Tidebringer or any of the Ancestral Reach or Flow of the Tides, and they just focus on this playstyle and then focus on damage. And they do a lot of damage with this. Again, we're gonna try and pump our Stormkeeper into Ancestral Guidance here. I kind of want to use my Primordial Wave here.
3.
Okay, I need to, I'm purging. Dude, this purging is just insane. Okay, I need to heal. I need to heal, brothers. This is the problem, man. If I mess up my Cloudburst, or if I don't have Primordial Wave, I can sometimes feel like, what do I do now? And that's a big issue, because I think running the normal chain heal build is a little bit easier. And this is why I think this build requires a little bit more, like, you need to know the damage pattern. So when you think you're going to need that Cloudburst, or do I save my Cloudburst? Do I use my Primordial Wave instantly, or do I use a little bit later? I think it requires more knowledge, but I think the overall throughput that you get out of it is actually pretty decent. So this is why I would, like right now, if you're playing Resto Druid, I think the amount of setup you do with Grove Guardians is actually easier. It's a lot easier. You don't have to have the same crazy amount of setup that you used to have, because without Grove Guardians, Resto Druid felt... I'm just gonna... I kind of use my Cloudburst here, but I do have... I did spec into Totemic Recall. I didn't get to spec into the other one, but I did spec into this just to see how my uptime of Cloudburst, how I can manage it better. Again, I'm not saying this is the best build, this is the way to go, this is the build that I'm running right now for specific weeks like Incorporeal, because you need to have... Again, I'm gonna use... I want my Cloudburst here. I'm gonna Bloodlust this.
CC.
Can you see good?
AoE.
Dude, I'm gonna get my Primordial Wave at the exact right time. Holy moly, dude.
Breath incoming.
I have a 800k Cloudburst. 900k Cloudburst, man. This is what we're talking about. And I'm gonna have another one. You know what? We're not even gonna have this. This is going to die before anything.
AoE.
But I kind of would have liked to have another one just to see how much I could have done. Like, look at this. 600k. That's the thing. If you don't time it properly, you can definitely have a bad time. But yeah, in terms of like 10.2 changes, I can definitely see how they're trying to kind of go with this build. Mainly because of the fact that Chain Heal can be quite expensive. And the 2-set bonus that was announced for Shamans, or Resto Shamans in 10.2, you're basically applying Tidal Reservoir buff on people, but it's relatively hard to apply it because it doesn't work with your Chain Heal additional hits. It didn't work with Primordial Wave either. I'm gonna stun instantly here. I'm gonna have a Cloudburst running. You know what? I'm gonna have a cushion here. I'm gonna have a cushion. I'm gonna have a cushion of 300k of Cloudburst. So in case something happens. Dude, the interrupt of Shaman, you just can't. You just can't, man. I'm gonna purge this. Okay, now I don't have Cloudburst. So this feels a little bit... Like, what do I do? I'm just gonna use Ascendance here. So now I don't have Cloudburst, I don't have Primordial Wave. This is the nightmare situation. This is where you have to use something else. Again, I didn't have to use Ascendance, but just to showcase that you can have moments where you kind of maybe misuse your Cloudburst totem, or maybe you use Primordial Wave for no reason, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? That can definitely happen. You can stand. You know what? Let's not stand. I want to see how much healing I can do here.
Dispel. 3, 2.
I want to see how much healing I can do. 300k, 400k. My Cloudburst is ready in 7 seconds. I'm gonna activate that with the Ancestral Guidance. Let's go. We're gonna do a lot here. We're gonna do a lot here, man. We don't need Primordial Wave. I interrupted the wrong person. Let's just keep DPSing. We have like 400k Cloudburst, worst case situation. You can stand beside the wall to not get hit, but honestly I just want to see how much I can do. I just want to see how much... I'm doing... Do you want to be in the video, Mouse?
No, but the kitten wants to.
Oh, we pulled this. You can bring them.
No, I mean the dog wants.
Oh no, Mouse, I'm doing...
3, 2.
I'm doing a bit of a... I don't want to wipe the raid. The cat is gonna... The feral cat needs buffs. Okay, I just kind of screwed it up here because I didn't set up properly.
Breath incoming.
I didn't set up properly. There you go. If you can CC that would... Okay, I'll do it here. I'm gonna pop Cloudburst here. And I'm gonna use Totemic Recall to get my... So for the next one.
AoE.
This is gonna be a little bit spicy.
Breath incoming.
Oh, I have my Undulation. Oh, I got my Primordial Wave. I need healing straight away. 500k, 600k. So, okay, you can... Like, if you do this better than what I did here, like in a hierarchy, if you prep for it, that's definitely one of the issues in terms of prepping for it. I can definitely see why people would complain in terms of, hey, I need to prep a lot. I can definitely see that being one of the disadvantages, which is, again, spot healing is a Okay, I have nothing for this. Spot healing is a big issue this tier because healers like Holy Paladin who provides so... Again, I have Primordial Wave, but I want to use it in Cloudburst Totem. So I can activate it. I activate my Primordial Wave. I need to... okay, they got dispelled. So I have my Primordial Wave. Again, I could have maybe waited with it. I could have probably waited for it. I'm gonna activate my Ancestral Guidance, use some of the DPS. We have 600k. I'm gonna try and interrupt a bit. Not really much of an interrupt person here. I'm gonna CC this guy because the mobs are not gonna die yet. And we're YOLOing. This boss is gonna be a nice representation of this kind of build because you're going to have Riptides running on everything. I'm in combat with something. I have Combate. I'm just gonna keep Riptides on everything. I'm sure there's probably better ways to do this. Oh yeah, my bad. I went the wrong way. So Riptide, so sorry, Primordial Wave, we're gonna use into Healing Wave. You can see our Cloud Burst just popping, dude. Like, our Cloud Burst is just pop city. We need to go in here. I don't have to do anything here right now, to be honest, I'm fine. Just make sure you're in the right area. Oopsie daisies. I'm gonna use Ancestral Guidance. Ancestral Guidance. That's CC'd. To be honest, I kind of messed that up, man, because I could have used Ascendance later, because I just need continuous healing. I'm just gonna DPS. I messed that up, man. This is gonna be spicy now. I'm gonna use Primordial Wave, and I'm gonna heal Primordial Wave with Spirit Walker's Grace. I didn't get that into Cloudburst because I'm just bad. I need to learn how to play. I didn't activate my... Okay, I'm gonna have Cloudburst reset. I'm gonna have Cloudburst reset, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna get my... I have Ancestral Guidance as well, so I can... I'm gonna use reset on my Cloudburst. I'm gonna use Ancestral Guidance just to see how much healing I can do, because this should be insane. I already have 500k. I can't really do any healing here. I'm just gonna cast this Healing Rain. And I baited it nicely as well. Keep my Earth Shields up. Again, you don't have to keep Earth Shield on the tank. That's not really mandatory or required, because if you have someone else that needs continuous healing or needs some of that DOR or damage reduction, which can be pretty good. Again, the mana usage was nothing. If this was a hierarchy, it'll be more interesting to see in terms of how much I can provide. But I'm not sure what the best like. Again, you're not using chain heal. You're barely using chain heal in this build. This is something that's very, very different, which is interesting because you kind of play into your tier set bonus. You're playing into your tier set bonus because you're maintaining a lot of Riptides on everyone. Again, I'm gonna use my Primordial Wave before big AoE here because I don't want people to lab out here. Let's do some damage and interrupt. Let's do some damage. I have a 5. You see this? I'm gonna interrupt this. I have a 500k Cloudburst, which was perfect. It was perfect in this type of damage pattern where you have AoE and then AoE happening shortly afterwards, because you can heal up people with your Primordial Wave and then you can heal up people with your Cloudburst. So this is one of those things where, like, this type of healing pattern feels really, really strong. I'm gonna CC this guy. Okay, that's fine, I didn't have to. But yeah, this could very much be something that Blizzard wants you to play in the next patch. I don't know, because it's very early to say. It's very early to say, but historically speaking, in Dragonflight, Blizzard has been quite poor. Well, Season 1 tier set was bland, but still pretty good, I think, because it provided damage and healing. Season 2 tier set went through 7 different iterations. It got buffed, well, it was buffed multiple times to make it feel like a tier set, because it just wasn't feel that impactful compared to a lot of other tier sets, and it made a lot of Resto Shamans sad. But they did buff the tier set considerably, and I think the tier set with this
Interrupt.
playstyle is... I'm gonna interrupt this. Having an interrupt as shaman, man, it's... I miss it. I miss having this kind of interrupt as a healer, because very few healers have this good of an interrupt. Because you can really, like, genuinely feel that in a lot of these keys... I'm not gonna use my promoted wave, because if we're doing stars in the next one...
Watch your feet.
Oh, this is gonna be... yeah... I forgot that you need to kind of knock the mobs away from it. We need to make sure that the mob, when it's gonna die, it dies away. This mob needs to die away, man. Don't kill it yet. Kill it now. Yeah, baby. I like it. Dude, Sanguine, delete this, man. Just delete Sanguine. Just honestly, delete Sanguine. This fight, these mobs, are like, I need, like, a ton of setup time. I need a ton of setup time, dude. Ah! Ah! I have a 600k cloudburst.
1.
I have a 1 million cloudburst. I'm gonna stun some of these. Like, if you don't have your Riptides running, if you don't have Primordial Wave, or if you don't have a cloudburst initially, like, you can definitely feel like, well, I didn't have my setup time, therefore we're going to wipe or something. This is going to be... I might die here. No, 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 no. We have Primordial Wave. Look at this.
Interrupt.
I'm gonna... I don't have a stun here.
Interrupt.
Oh. Dude, my cloudburst literally expired when that AoE happened. Dude, I cannot... Like, this is literally... If every single... I'm gonna CCing this one. If every single boss or mob trash pack have this kind of damage patterns, Shaman would be just insane. I don't really want to use my heals here because the next pack is way harder. But we're gonna have Bloodlust for the next pack. Again, I'm not playing this properly. This is literally the first time I've tried this. I have my Primordial Wave, please. Because the damage happens right after another. I'm interrupting. I don't think I want to 700k Cloudburst, 800k Cloudburst. Don't mind if I do. I'm CCing this guy. Let's use... This is the part where I'm gonna use Ascendance, because there's going to be damage happening, or usually there's a damage happening right after. They need to be all healed up. And my Cloudburst is going... Oh no, man. Okay. We're using Stormkeeper into Ascendance. On Ancestral Guidance. It's on me, by the way. I have nothing here. I still had Spirit Link. I had nothing there. I still had Spirit Link in case something really becomes bad, but usually the damage that happens here is usually like across the board for everyone, so it doesn't really do anything besides giving you the damage reduction. Speed boost. I'm scared. I need to set up here. I need to set up here, dude. I need to set up here. Oh! Linzenator is not here yet. We don't have a tank, but that's fine. We have a Cloudburst. Give me 700k Cloudburst, man! Let's go! A lot of hard casting with this build. A lot of hard casting. But you can see I didn't have to drink mana at all. But then again, I do have the Source of Magic Enjoyers as well. Let's see if I can provide a bit more damage. I don't really have a damage trinkets or anything like... Well...
3, buff, 2, 1.
I got Innervate, but I don't really need it. I don't actually think I need to use Cloudburst here. Yeah, I think I may... Let's see if I can get a bit of AoE damage on this bad boy. Maybe I do. Oh, this guy forgot to jump.
Find shelter.
Yeah, because there's no damage happening afterwards. We're not really focusing on the thing. I don't know what the best, like you see, fights like this, like on a really high tyrannical key, like would actually require you to really think out your cooldowns and like, where do I use my cloudburst, where do you use my primordial wave type of thing, you know?
3,
I don't really want to use my primordial wave here. I want to use ancestral guidance and just DPS. I want to make sure that my DPS is good enough.
Jump.
now. Run out.
Uh-oh, I'm defensing. So now I'm gonna use primordial wave. And then I have totemic recall as well, so that's all good. This is where I'm gonna use my primordial on the person who's about to die. Provide some damage.
Jump.
Jump!
Now. Find shelter.
And now I'm going to have Healing Tide and Ascendance
1.
for the next one. Oh no! I'm blind! Like you see, if you're running like a chain heal build, you probably would still pay attention to these things, but not as much. You probably still would pay attention, but I guess you would be like, okay, let's just go. I should have used my DPS on the star, but I don't care. I'm gonna use, like, this one should be good enough. I'm gonna use Healing Tide as well, because I want to use
Now.
my abilities. I don't really have a defensive. I have Earth Shield, so that's more than good enough for this moment. And I guess this is gonna be another star. I'm gonna put, you know what? I should put Earth Shield on the targets.
1.
The targets that get selected, I would actually use Earth Shield on for sure.
Run out.
Like the targets that get selected by this. I'm gonna use Ascendance, just kill the boss, don't focus on the thing. And we get the key done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Haven't played my Shaman that much this tier. Let's see if there's anything good that people drop. We got a dagger and we got a cloak. Let's see how much healing. Again, I would really like to try this build out where mana is an issue, and that is tyrannical high mythic plus keys. This is not a high key to try this out on, but it's interesting to see the different playstyle. Because all of you, again, Riptide did a lot of healing, Cloudburst, like the amount of healing Cloudburst is doing in Healing Wave. Again, Healing Wave, this is like with Primordial Wave. Ancestral Awakening did around 6% of my healing, which is something that is relatively new in terms of people picking it. Dude, my tier set, this is the 2 set bonus. When you cast Healing Ray and each ally with Riptide on them is healed. My tier set by itself did almost 8% of my healing with around 50% over healing. I don't think you would hold Healing Rains. I think you would just send them anyways. Because Healing Rain, I have my Acid Rain and things like that. I'm not sure if people are really picking Master of Elements, but in these lower keys where I want to provide more damage, I think Master of Elements is fun. There's a lot of changes you would change in the class build, because again, I need to pick up Hex because I need to dispel. So in order to pick up Hex, most of the time you end up picking something like Purge. If I could, I would try to squeeze in Call of Elements in some shape or form, but maybe you would need defensives in terms of elemental warding, depending on which key you're doing. And again, I'm not running Thundershock right now because it's Sanguine Week, and I want to actually I didn't have to use it at all, but I want to use this to knock mobs away, because Sanguine Healing can be so toxic. But yeah, this is one of the builds that a lot of people are running in higher keys in terms of Primal Tidecore, in terms of Ancestral Awakening, in terms of Primordial Wave. They don't pick Tidebringer, they don't pick Ancestral Reach or Flow of the Tides. You don't press Chain Heal all that much. Majority of your healing is coming from the fact that you have Primordial Waves, big healing from Primordial Waves because you have Riptides running, because you have talents like Primal Tide Core and things like that. You have Riptides running. Your healing waves from Primordial Wave are splashing, they're going into Cloudburst, and then Cloudburst is going to account for a lot of your healing as well. And then you can see my Riptide is also doing a decent amount of healing. And then Ancestral Awakening is something, to help you out. So an interesting change in Resto Shaman playstyle from being so reliant on Chain Heal and then heading into this more single target build or feeding your Cloudburst. In 10.2 they're nerfing a lot of things. but they're almost getting rid of that chain heal build to some extent. So maybe this build is going to be more popular. Again, we'll have to see. There's probably going to be more changes in tier set and stuff like that. But I definitely would recommend people to try out this build to see if you like it, because there is a slight chance that this build might be the way to go in the future. Again, try it out, see if you like it. I overall think it's quite fun. I think it's more difficult to play because if you mess up your cloudbursts, it can be really painful, but I guess Totemic Recall really does help with that. If you mess up your cloudburst and like, I don't have a cloudburst at all. So maybe it does help you out, but if you don't have cloudburst, you don't have Primordial Wave, you're not caught up, you have to rely on your Ascendants, you have to rely on your Spirit Link Totem, and if you don't have those, well then, you just have to pray kind of thing. Thank you guys again. Let me know if you're going to try it out and how you feel about this build.